Part 12. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Ken Ru Xiahua. Chapter 111. Li Yuan's mouth twitched. Family, I would rather Xiaobai didn't have you as a family. Su Ji winked at Li Yuan. Brother Yuan, it's so late, the school is closed, are we going back to school? Li Yuan agreed, then don't go back, there is a star hotel in Longjia building, let's spend the night together. Wang Yuchen was also a little drunk. After all, it was her first time drinking. She took Bai Wixi's hand and snorted, Xiaobai, let's stay in the same room. Bai Wixi nodded and gave Li Yuan an apologetic look, indicating that she couldn't be blamed. Li Yuan smiled and didn't say anything. If he didn't have this trick, he wouldn't have to mess around. Since you promised me, you still want to run? No way, just let me take you down. Li Yuan suggested, let's go to the hotel, it's on the 16th floor, I have booked a room. Wang Shui and Su Ji also drank a lot, and they were trembling and dizzy when they walked. Su Ji came to Li Yuan and asked curiously, Brother Yuan, is that all for tonight? Li Yuan looked at him with a smile, what else do you want? Just take it tonight. Today's Su Ji really impressed him. He thought that the other party was also a lick dog, but tonight he found that he was really good at it. He dared to learn from him and raped in KTV, and even wanted to take the top home run in one fell swoop. He was much better than his previous life. If Li Yuan had the courage of Su Ji in his previous life, he would not have been kept as a fish for so long and would have taken her down long ago. Su Ji touched his nose awkwardly. He had this idea, but there was no need to think about it. Wang Yuchen would definitely not want to. Li Yuan patted Su Ji on the shoulder and said meaningfully, Daji, tonight, I'll prepare a chance for you, seize it well. The elevator went up, and the Green Tree Inn on the 16th floor arrived in the blink of an eye. Li Yuan came to the front desk, reported his name, and got 3 room cards, one for Su Ji, Wang Shui, and Wang Yuchen. As for himself, he still had big things to do. Li Yuan handed Wang Yuchen's room card to her, Yuchen, this is your room card. Wang Yuchen took the room card, without any doubt, and was about to leave with Bai Wixi, but was stopped by Li Yuan. Yuchen, go wash up first, Xiaobai and I have something to talk about alone. Wang Yuchen was very confused, it's already 11 o'clock in the evening, why are you still going out? Xiaobai, do you really have something important? Bai Wixi was startled, then nodded shyly, without saying anything to refute, her heart pounding. In the KTV, she had promised Li Yuan to watch his cat do a backflip. Wang Yuchen was drunk and a little tired, so she said in a joking way, Xiaobai, Li Yuan, you two won't leave and never come back, will you? Li Yuan replied calmly, how is that possible? I will definitely come back. If not, where will we live? Wang Yuchen didn't think that Li Yuan had settled in the Magic City, and smiled, that's right, then I'll go take a shower and go to bed first. I feel a little dizzy from drinking today, and I'm tired of singing. Xiaobai, come back early, I'm scared to sleep alone. Li Yuan made a look at Su Ji, who understood immediately and immediately stepped forward to support Wang Yuchen and took her into the room. Xiaobai, we're leaving first, you should go to bed early too. Wang Shui took his room card and looked suspiciously at Li Yuan and Bai Wixi who had already left hand in hand. His intuition told him that something special would definitely happen tonight. If Brother Yuan really doesn't come back tonight, that would be too awesome. I have to consult him privately tomorrow. I don't need to find 2 girlfriends, one is enough. Bai Wixi was held by Li Yuan's hand and followed him step by step. She suddenly felt a little panicked. It was fine when Wang Yuchen, Su Ji, and others were there, but now she was alone with Li Yuan. Thinking about going to his house again, she was very nervous, and even the slightly drunk feeling became much more sober. She held Li Yuan's hand and said shyly, "Li Yuan, tonight, you promised me, you swore, you are not allowed to touch me." Li Yuan agreed immediately, "I will keep my word. The moon is nice today. We can enjoy the moon first." Bai Wuxi felt relieved. "Li Yuan, when did you buy a house in Shanghai?" Li Yuan smiled and said, "Before school started, I came to Shanghai to buy a house as soon as I got my royalties." "Xiaobai, I remember you said before that you wanted to settle down in Shanghai or other big cities in the future." Bai Wuxi didn't expect Li Yuan to remember this. She was afraid that Li Yuan would misunderstand that she was more materialistic, so she quickly explained. "My mother is from Jiangnan, and my grandmother's house is in Sichuan next to Shanghai. So when I grew up, my mother often told me that I would go to school in Shanghai and settle down in Shanghai in the future. I am her only daughter, and I can also go back to my grandparents' home." Li Yuan was slightly startled. He really didn't know that Bai Wuxi's mother was from Sichuan in Jiangnan. Then why would she marry to a small town in northern Anhui thousands of miles away and become an ordinary junior high school teacher? He knew the Jiangnan region well. The economy here was developed and the life was affluent, much better than that in northern Anhui. Local girls rarely married outside the region, and they married to backward areas. Moreover, from what Bai Wuxi said, her mother interfered a lot with her feelings. He seemed to understand something vaguely. Li Yuan was a little curious. "Why didn't I mention it before?" "I haven't heard you mention it before." Bai Wuxi put on a smile. "You didn't even ask, and this involves my grandmother. My mother and grandparents are very unhappy. My mother often cries over this matter and quarrels with my father. I have grown up so big, I only met my grandma 3 times. A thought suddenly came to Li Yuan's mind. Could it be that Bai Wuxi's family background is also a bloody urban drama? Zhong Tingyu has a nasty family background, so does Bai Wuxi. The two of them are indeed good friends who share the same dormitory. I was about to continue asking for details when I finally got a taxi. The taxi is coming." Li Yuan took Bai Wuxi and got into the car. "Master, go to Zhang." Li Yuan was about to talk about going to the Jiangnanyuan community when he suddenly thought that Xia's Haijin also knew about that house. If he took Bai Wuxi there too, a Shura field would probably break out in the future. When the words came to his lips, Li Yuan swallowed them back. "Master, go to Jade Mansion Community." Feiqiuai Mansion Community is one of the 3 large, single-story, finely decorated houses he purchased, in addition to Jiangnan Garden and Jingxia Villa. Located not far from the riverside, you can see the river view. The area reaches 148 square meters. The full purchase price reached 2.48 million, which is more expensive than the house in Jingxia Villa. Li Yuan has only been to this house once in the past half-month, and he was a little confused about the way. Bai Wuxi looked at this high-end residential complex, her beautiful eyes filled with curiosity and envy. When she was in her hometown, she often heard her mother mention how expensive a house in Shanghai was, costing 1 to 2 million, which was an astronomical figure that ordinary people could hardly imagine. When my parents quarreled, they occasionally mentioned their salaries, which amounted to less than 4,000 a month. They don't have cram schools or remedial classes like some teachers do. After deducting the expenses of a family of 3, they don't have much money left. Wanting to buy a house in Shanghai is just a dream." Bai Wuxi thought sadly. If my father had been able to buy a house and settle in the magical city, maybe my grandmother would not have severed the mother-daughter relationship with my mother. She glanced at the tall Li Yuan again, lowered her head shyly, and thought to herself. In that case, I'm afraid I won't know Li Yuan. It's pretty good now. Bai Wuxi followed Li Yuan around the Jade Mansion for several times. Seeing that he still couldn't find it, he asked with some confusion, "Li Yuan, haven't you found it yet?" Li Yuan looked a little embarrassed. After buying this house, he came once during military training to clean it. He never came here at other times. He always went to Jiangnanyuan and Jinxia Villa, which are closer to Daxia University. Of the two houses in Jinxia Villa, he only went to the one in his parents' name, that was his real home. Li Yuan was also a little anxious. It was almost 12 o'clock. Spring snacks were short and a moment was worth $1,000. When Baiwaxi's drunkenness completely dissipates, the difficulty will increase if he tries to do it again. It's coming soon. I haven't been here for a long time. I forgot which building it is. Baiwaxi asked shyly, Li Yuan, after you bought it, didn't you come here often? Li Yuan answered subconsciously, it's a bit far from the school. I usually live. Before he finished speaking, he stopped immediately. Looking at a set of garden houses, it says 20. This is the building. It's on the top floor of the 12th floor. Let's go up. This house is also a large apartment with 4 bedrooms, 2 living rooms, 2 kitchens, and 1 kitchen, and has an oversized open-air balcony. Baiwaxi looked at this dream mansion and felt incredible. Her lifelong dream, the house that her parents had never dared to dream of after struggling all their lives, did Li Yuan buy it just after the heavy snowfall? Li Yuan pulled Baiwaxi to the balcony. Xiao Bai, have you seen the big river in front of you? Baiwaxi followed the direction of Li Yuan's finger and could vaguely see not far away, a large river with bright lights on both sides, flowing quietly in front of him, surrounded by thousands of lights shining, reflecting the prosperity and hustle and bustle of the magic city. Baiwaxi's eyes were blurry, he opened his arms, faced the summer wind, and was illuminated by the moonlight, murmuring to himself. It's so beautiful here. Being here with the one you love, blowing the summer wind and admiring the bright moon, is the happiest thing in the world. When Li Yuan saw Baiwaxi's appearance, he felt very complicated. He had an indescribable feeling. He suddenly felt that he was indeed useless and useless in his previous life. Money, money, not earned, work, work, nothing achieved. Relying solely on salary, plus part-time manuscript fees, after deducting daily living expenses, housing loans and car loans, there is not much left, and I can only cover the most basic life. Let alone eating a seafood dinner, even if you want to drink a cup of coffee or a cup of milk tea, you have to hesitate for a while. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Ken Ru Xiahua. Chapter 112. Even though he has worked very hard, perhaps because of his lack of vision, his efforts are not worth mentioning. In this international metropolis, there are more than 1 million men working as hard as him. How many of them can succeed? Most of them are doing nothing. He himself is just an ordinary, most ordinary man. Apart from his height and appearance, his conditions are actually far inferior to those of Su Ji and Wang Shui. But, what does that have to do with me now? To be successful in life, you must have all the fun, and don't let the golden gun stand against the moon. Li Yuan looked at Baiwaxi, whose long skirt was fluttering, and suddenly became distracted. He walked forward and hugged her body from behind. Baiwaxi's body trembled suddenly, and as soon as she turned around, she met Li Yuan's head, and kissed her red lips fiercely. He has been waiting for this day for 2 lifetimes. Today, you finally have the chance to get what you want, so what are you waiting for? On the balcony late at night, under the moonlight, a pair of figures hugged each other passionately and passionately. Both of them drank, especially Baiwaxi. She was a girl and it was her first time to drink. Even though she only had 2 bottles of beer, she was already drunk, and her beautiful and handsome face was always red. Baiwaxi seemed to have completely opened her heart and responded to Li Yuan wholeheartedly. She stood on tiptoes, put her arms around Li Yuan's neck, and greeted Li Yuan's invasion awkwardly. Li Yuan himself gradually opened up his heart, gave up all his worries, and temporarily forgot all the scars in his previous life. He just wanted to enjoy this moment deep in his dreams. Bai Wuxi was a little confused, and his eyes were getting more and more blurred, but he still remained somewhat awake, knowing that this was a balcony and it was easy to get lost. Li Yuan, don't be here, it's easy for others to see you. It's already early in the morning, who can see it? Li Yuan, don't do this, go to bed. Without saying a word, Li Yuan picked her up by the waist, kicked open the bedroom door, threw her onto the spacious and soft bed, and continued to invade her. Li Yuan, promise me not to touch anything. I promised yesterday, and now it's the second day. I don't count my breaking my promise. You bad guy, you did it on purpose. You don't even have a cat at home, and you tricked me into watching the cat do a backflip. Meow, meow, I am a cat, and a tiger is also a cat. I will turn it over for you right away. Hee, the big tiger is going to eat you, the little white sheep. Li Yuan, no, can you give me some more time? Xiao Bai, I have been waiting for this day for a long time. But, I'm not ready yet, please. You have already agreed to be my girlfriend. What difference does it make if you take this step sooner or later? Xiao Bai, do you know why I came to Shanghai and bought this house as soon as I earned the royalties? Because of what? Oh, you, don't take it off, you haven't showered yet. Xiao Bai, because I want to have a home with you in Modu. Li Yuan, do you really love me? I'm very scared. How else can I prove that I love you? Isn't 3 years of relationship enough? I am still a little scared. You are so good now, you can only love me. Of course I love you the most, stop talking and pick up when. Well, bad guy. Bai Wuxi's brain was in a daze. She felt the clothes on her body were falling off one by one. After a while, they were all stripped off by Li Yuan. Her body was shaking slightly. Even though she had known that such a day would come, she didn't expect it to happen so soon. Originally, she just wanted to take advantage of this high school reunion to ask Li Yuan what he meant. Why do you do that to her? Unexpectedly, this question would completely involve him. Bai Wuxi hugged Li Yuan tightly. When her body touched, her skin was very hot and her heart was beating fast. Li Yuan, will you love me forever? The arrow was on the string and was about to be launched. Li Yuan naturally answered without hesitation, yes, not only in 1 lifetime, but in 2 lifetimes. Bai Wuxi gritted her teeth, her misty eyes gradually filled with tears, she pursed her lips and said in a very soft voice. Li Yuan, you must be good to me. At some point, Li Yuan stopped moving and glanced at Bai Wuxi, who was wrapped in the quilt. He didn't know whether he was sad or happy. The dream I had for 2 lifetimes, in my past life and this life, finally came true today. Suddenly there was a mixed feeling in my heart. I couldn't tell whether I hated it, liked it, or both. When he was newly reborn, he disliked Bai Wuxi extremely and kept away from her. Later, I felt that I had suffered a great loss and wanted to take revenge on her by raising her fish. Later, after being raped at the train station and meeting Zhong Tingyu, Xiao Yuer and Xiao's Haijin, Bai Wuxi no longer cared so much. But at this moment, after fulfilling his long-cherished wish in life and entering the sage time, he suddenly felt a trace of compassion in his heart. Bai Wuxi, the woman he once valued most in his life, really wanted to kick her away mercilessly after getting her first blood. Li Yuan felt a little hesitant. Suddenly, Li Yuan's clothes were pulled. He turned around and saw Bai Wuxi, who had fallen asleep due to exhaustion and woke up, looking at him with tears in her eyes. Li Yuan, you are a bad guy. You have to be responsible for me in this life. Li Yuan leaned down, kissed her forehead gently, and said calmly, Xiao Bai, I will be responsible. Bai Wuxi turned from sadness to joy, grabbed Li Yuan's hand, and said coquettishly. Then you can't deliberately anger me, ignore me, block me, or ignore my calls in the future. Li Yuan was speechless. Has she completely entered the role of a girlfriend? Well, I promise you, but you have to be obedient. Bai Wuxi chuckled, her face full of smiles. I've always been very obedient. Do you remember, in the first semester of senior year, when we were desk mates, there was a sudden power outage in the classroom. You secretly pulled my hand and kissed my cheek. You asked me not to shout, so I didn't say anything. Li Yuan smiled. The past was unbearable to look back. Those memories were really beautiful. If it weren't for what happened after sophomore year, they would really be remembered forever. Li Yuan pinched Bai Wuxi's face and said, as expected of a top female student, this memory is great. Bai Wuxi suddenly asked shyly, Li Yuan, can I take this bed sheet back? Today is her first time. Li Yuan didn't say much. He got up directly, went to the room, and took out a spare key from the storage box. This is the key to this house. From now on, you are the mistress of this house. Come whenever you want. Bai Wuxi took the key from Li Yuan blankly, feeling like she was dreaming. She looked at Li Yuan seriously and asked. Li Yuan, can I really come here anytime? Li Yuan nodded, held her hand, and smiled. I said, you are the mistress of this house. Li Yuan had something else in his heart that he didn't say, and it was just this house. He has more than one house, and there will be more in the future. He can't just stay for Bai Wuxi. Once there is a grudge in the heart, no matter what you do, it can't be eliminated completely. He still prefers a simple treasure girl like a blank sheet of paper. As for Bai Wuxi, this was once his inner demon, but now, the inner demon has been resolved, the grudges have been eliminated, there is no loss or debt, and no more resentment. Bai Wuxi tightly grasped the room key, and suddenly, tears flowed down her face again. Li Yuan, thank you. Li Yuan crawled into the bed and laughed, if you really want to thank me, then make again. Bai Wuxi's body trembled suddenly, and she stretched out her hand to feel something, and said hesitantly, I feel a little pain, I can't do it now. Li Yuan looked at Bai Wuxi's red face with a smile, then use other methods. Bai Wuxi asked shyly, what other methods are there? Li Yuan whispered in Bai Wuxi's ear, making Bai Wuxi blush and curse, Li Yuan, you are a big pervert. Li Yuan hugged her, Xiao Bai, you don't want to see me so uncomfortable, right? Bai Wuxi's face was red and bleeding, she rolled her eyes at Li Yuan, pursed her li. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Ken Ru Xiahua. Chapter 113. Ye Bai Wuxi said softly, lowered his head shyly, shrank back, and hid himself under the quilt. Li Yuan suddenly became excited, hey, Xiao Bai, you are really a dog, don't bite me. All you pretty girls, please throw your tickets into my face. Later, there is another chapter. Chapter 107. The polarity is reversed, it's her turn to lick me, please subscribe, please vote. In the hotel, Su Ji looked embarrassed and was kicked out of the room by Wang Yuchen. You bastard, go back to your room. Okay, I'll go back right away. I'm afraid you'll be scared alone. Humph, don't think that I don't know what bad intentions you have. You are on the same level as Li Yuan. I should be more afraid when you are here. I really don't have anything else on my mind, so just go to sleep. I'll be in the room next to you. Big bad guy, get out of here. He took advantage of Wang Yuchen's drunkenness and was about to go deeper. Wang Yuchen suddenly woke up and everything came to an abrupt end. I still haven't succeeded. However, there is a long way to go. Today, I have made good progress. The relationship has made great progress compared with the previous relationship. Brother Yuan sincerely does not deceive me. Suji licked his lips. He had rested his lips for 18 years. He used them all at once today and almost completed the last step, confessing himself. After returning to his room and washing up, he looked at the time and saw that it was already 1 o'clock in the morning. He thought that Bai Wuxi had not come back yet, and he admired Li Yuan even more. Li Yuan, you are really awesome, you can win it now. There is a high probability that they will not come back. It's just so late. Where could they go? Did they go to another hotel? Isn't it unnecessary? It's me, Mr. Li, who has 2 legs. I always feel that if he behaves like this, he will definitely fall over in the future. This night was very peaceful and very restless, spent in ups and downs and swaying. Li Yuan and Bai Wuxi worked hard until 3 or 4 in the morning before falling asleep from exhaustion. In the morning, while he was lying in bed, before he got up, Li Yuan's cell phone rang suddenly. Bai Wuxi held Li Yuan's arm and pushed Li Yuan vaguely, "Honey, phone." Li Yuan was sleeping soundly. He picked up the phone and was about to answer it when he saw the caller's name, Xiao Yuer. She was so frightened that her whole body trembled, but there was no trace of sleepiness at all. She broke out in a cold sweat. Fortunately, Bai Wuxi reminded herself that if she didn't answer the answer, she would be in trouble. Almost overturned. Li Yuan glanced at Bai Wuxi, who was still sleeping, gently took away her arm that was hanging on him, got out of bed quietly, closed the bedroom door, went to the balcony, and then answered Xiao Yuer's call. Zhang Xiao's clear and sweet voice came over immediately. "Huh, brother Xiahua, why did you just answer the phone now? It has been ringing for 30 seconds. Li Yuan replied with a guilty conscience, "I had some wine with my friends last night and stayed up late for a while. I haven't woken up yet. Let me tell you, you always answered the call immediately before." Xiao Yuer thought Li Yuan was staying up late coding, so she persuaded him with some distress. "Brother Xiahua, don't stay up late all the time. You can update fewer words every day." Li Yuan laughed, changed the topic, and asked, "Xiao Yuer, why did you call me so early? Is something wrong?" "Humph, brother Xiahua, you must have forgotten that you promised me yesterday that you will come to our school to find me today." Li Yuan stayed up all night and fought hard all night. As soon as he woke up, he had already forgotten about this matter. After Xiao Yuer reminded her, she remembered that she had promised her today that she would go to her school to find her. "Haha, how could I forget? I'll wash up and come find you in a moment." "Yeah, brother Xiahua, I'm waiting for you at school. I've prepared a gift for you. I hope you like it. Then I'm going to look forward to it. Brother Xiahua, come quickly. I really miss you very much." Li Yuan suddenly felt a little dizzy and quietly glanced at the bedroom. There was no movement, and he breathed a sigh of relief. "Xiao Yuer, I miss you too, wait for me." "Well, they are waiting for you." After hanging up the phone, Li Yuan sighed with emotion. It is really not easy to be the king of the sea and give every girl a home. He is now very curious about how those Neptunes who had 7 or 8 girlfriends at the same time as reported on the internet in their previous lives were masters of time management. This is still an ordinary weekend. If it is New Year's Day, Christmas, Valentine's Day, and other special holidays, you must not split yourself into 8 halves. There are only a few of him, and they are just Xia's Haijin and Bai Wuxi who have confirmed their relationship. Even before it officially started, I was already a little exhausted, caught off guard, and almost overturned. If you really have 7 or 8 girlfriends, it's scary to think about it. At that time, it was not just the body that was tired, but also the mind. Just as Li Yuan was about to wash up, another call came in suddenly. Seeing the caller's number, Li Yuan's tone immediately became very gentle. Baby's Hyjin, you woke up so early today and didn't get a little more sleep over the weekend. In the girls' dormitory of Daxia University, Xia's Hyjin had been reading for a long time. She waited until 8 o'clock in the morning before hesitantly called Li Yuan. Li Yuan, it's already late, it's already 8 o'clock. It's only 8 o'clock, which is quite early. I can sleep a little longer on weekends. It doesn't matter if I sleep until 12 o'clock. Xia's Hyjin chuckled, huh, I'm not a little pig. I eat and sleep, and I get up at 6:30. Baby's Hyjin, why are you up so early? Get up early and read a book. I took a look. We have a lot of studies in our freshman year. I am very stupid, so I have to let the stupid bird fly first. Who dares to say that my beloved's Hyjin is stupid? Tell me, I have to give her a beating. Xia's Hyjin glanced at her sleeping roommate and lowered her voice, Li Yuan, are we still going to the company today? Li Yuan said matter-of-factly, I'm not going today. I'll give you a day off and take a nice walk around the school. Yes, I understand, Xia's Hyjin asked shyly, then, do you want me to accompany you? Li Yuan suddenly felt that he was not far from death. Hyjin, a pure treasure girl, learned to check other people's posts after the two confirmed their relationship. Huh, it must have been taught to her by those dog-headed military advisors in her dormitory. I have this kind of trouble when I fall in love with female top students. They are too smart and have no love brain at all, and they led my innocent little girl astray. Well, baby's Hyjin, I don't need you to accompany me today. I have some other things to do. I'll go find you when I get back. Xia's Hyjin replied obediently, yes, I understand. Just go ahead and do it. I can do it by myself. Li Yuan suddenly felt a little heartbroken and wished he could give himself a slap. Why should he be so scumbag? Hyjin, don't read all the time. If you have nothing to do, you can hang out with your roommates more often. Xia's Hyjin replied softly, but, I like reading very much. Li Yuan could already think of Xia's Hyjin's expression in reply to the sentence, and his tone became more gentle, well, then you read a book, and I will sleep for a while. Well, go to sleep and have a good rest. After hanging up the phone with Xia's Hyjin, Li Yuan looked at the messages on his phone again, replied to Wang Shui, Suji, and others, and then breathed a sigh of relief. Li Yuan murmured in his heart, why do you feel so tired? Shouldn't it be a very happy thing to be the king of the sea and travel among different girls? Li Yuan was very confused. He felt a little tired and frightened, as if he was a thief. Exciting and thrilling. Fortunately, Little Moon didn't call me, otherwise I might as well have exploded on the spot. Hurry up and start school. The day has gone by so fast, and I don't even have time to type. Li Yuan muttered a few words, washed up in a hurry, and entered the bedroom. He saw Baiwixi still sleeping sweetly with tears on her face. He didn't know how to explain to her. You just took someone's first blood and you just put your pants up and ran away? Li Yuan always felt that this was somewhat immoral. But Xiao Yuer has already agreed. If he doesn't go, it will definitely not be suitable. Looking at the beautiful Baiwixi, Li Yuan hesitated slightly and decided to wait a little longer. This opportunity is rare, let's kiss her to wake her up first. Looking at the sleeping Baiwixi, Li Yuan had some reaction, and slipped into the quilt to touch the smooth jade. After a while, Baiwixi woke up, grabbed Li Yuan's little hand, and said coquettishly, hubby, don't move around. I'll sleep for a while. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Kan Ru Xiahua. Chapter 114. Li Yuan replied with a smirk, I have other things to do later, let's have breakfast first. Baiwixi was stunned and asked, honey, have you bought breakfast? Li Yuan just smiled and moved his mouth. I'm having breakfast. Bai Wuxi understood instantly, his face flushed, and punched Li Yuan directly. Don't be like this, Li Yuan, it's daytime now. Li Yuan muttered, well, what's wrong with daytime, haven't you heard of that idiom? Bai Wuxi was stunned and asked shyly, what idiom? Li Yuan smiled, Bai, R.I., Xian. Bai Wuxi spat, pressed Li Yuan's shaking head with his hand, and said shyly, Li Yuan, why are you so bad now? I thought you were honest before. Li Yuan was speechless. For boys nowadays, being described as honest and dutiful is definitely not a compliment. He, you can't judge a person by appearance, you can only measure his figure with your hands, understand? At nearly 9 o'clock, Li Yuan climbed out of the gentle countryside with a fresh look. The milk ammunition accumulated in the 2 months since his rebirth had been completely consumed. Xiaobai, you can rest here for a while. When you are rested, take a taxi back to school. Bai Wuxi was a virgin, and she was particularly clingy to Li Yuan. She hugged Li Yuan's arm like a little bird, and asked in a tender voice, husband, what are you going to do? I want you to accompany me, okay? This scene was a bit familiar, and Li Yuan muttered to himself, once this girl confesses her first time, she will be particularly clingy, every girl is like this. With a light cough, Li Yuan touched Bai Wuxi's head, thinking that he had to find something for Bai Wuxi to do, otherwise she would definitely be suspicious. After thinking for a while, Li Yuan took out a credit card from his wallet. He is now a VIP customer of the bank and has applied for several credit cards with a limit of about 50,000 yuan for daily expenses. Li Yuan handed the credit card to Bai Wuxi and said with a smile, Mistress, this is my bank card, and I will give it to you now. Bai Wuxi did not take it. She looked at Li Yuan shyly and shook her head, we are not married yet, so I can't take your salary card. Li Yuan smiled and said, then you have already called me husband. Bai Wuxi hesitated slightly and still did not take it, I have my own money. My mother gives me 800 yuan a month for living expenses, which is enough for me to spend. Seeing that Bai Wuxi did not want money, Li Yuan was a little surprised. Why, are you pretending to be innocent in front of me now? Worship money if you want money, how normal it is. I am also a scumbag who values money above all else. It's the same for each other. It's just right to make a pair, so as not to go out of society and harm others. Li Yuan looked at Bai Wuxi with a half smile, and asked with a smile, Xiaobai, don't you want to buy nice clothes, beautiful bags, and famous brand cosmetics? When Bai Wuxi heard Li Yuan ask her this, she was instantly furious and picked up a pillow and threw it at Li Yuan. Damn Li Yuan, what do you think of me? Do you think I'm with you just for your money? As Bai Wuxi spoke, tears as big as beans fell from her eyes. She hugged the quilt, buried her head in the quilt, and kept crying. Li Yuan frowned slightly and wanted to say, stop pretending, how can I not understand you? But seeing that Bai Wuxi was crying loudly, he walked to her side and wanted to pull her into his arms. Unexpectedly, Bai Wuxi reacted strongly and pushed Li Yuan away crying, smelly Li Yuan, don't touch me. It turns out that in your heart, I am such a materialistic and money-worshipping girl. Li Yuan quickly apologized, Xiaobai, you misunderstood. Think about it, you are so beautiful and have found such an excellent boyfriend. If you don't dress yourself up beautifully, people will definitely say that I don't love you behind your back. Besides, you call me husband, the husband makes money and the wife spends it. It is reasonable for me to give you the bank card and let you spend my money. Don't you think this is the truth? Bai Wuxi still cried non-stop, leaving Li Yuan speechless. This plot is not going well. In his imagination, if he gave Bai Wuxi the credit card, she would have to accept it happily immediately. Then, Li Yuan could let her use her credit card to go shopping to divert her attention, and he could go find Xiao Yuer with peace of mind. Bai Wuxi cried for a long time before she stared at Li Yuan with red and swollen eyes, and said in a very stiff tone, "Li Yuan, I don't want to spend your money. If you think I am such a materialistic girl, then you are wrong." Li Yuan felt very nonsensical. The green tea in the previous life suddenly changed her nature in this life? Or was her level too high, and it was all acting and pretending? However, he didn't care. Anyway, he got the first blood and satisfied the regrets of 2 lives, so who cares about her? Really? If you don't want it, I'll spend it on other girls in the future. Bai Wuxi glared at Li Yuan and snorted when she heard what he said, "Damn Li Yuan, if you dare to find other girls behind my back, I will die in front of you." Li Yuan didn't believe it in his heart, but he continued to coax her on the surface. He hugged her in his arms and pinched her nose. Okay, if you don't want it, I'm not doing this to love you." Bai Wuxi buried her head in Li Yuan's arms and sobbed softly, "Damn Li Yuan, you can only love me in this life." Yeah, of course I only love you." Li Yuan looked at the time and saw that it was already 9 o'clock. If he didn't leave, Xiao Yu'er would probably call again. "Xiao Bai, I really have something else to do, so I need to leave first." Bai Wuxi hugged Li Yuan's arm and said pitifully, "Hubby, can you please not leave and stay with me? I'm scared." Li Yuan was very helpless, but he still rubbed her head and comforted her softly, "I really have something to do. You are here first. You can call Wang Yuchen to come over and accompany you, and you can go shopping around together. Xiao Bai, you have to be obedient and good. I like sensible girls." Bai Wuxi reluctantly let go of Li Yuan's arm, staring at him closely with her beautiful eyes shining with tears. "Husband, then I'll be here, waiting for you to come back." Li Yuan nodded quickly, "Yeah, wait until I come back to pick you up." Bai Wuxi then turned her cry into a smile, "Husband, go and do your work. I will be at home waiting for you to come back." "You're so good, I'm leaving." Li Yuan kissed Bai Wuxi on the forehead, threw the bank card on the bedside, and said to Bai Wuxi before going out, "The bank card password is the last 6 digits of your birthday." After saying that, without waiting for Bai Wuxi's reaction, he hurried out of the door. Just as he got off the elevator, his cell phone rang again. Li Yuan picked it up and saw that it was indeed Xiao Yu'er calling. "Brother Xiahua, where have you been? It's already 9:30. Li Yuan took a risk from behind, what a humming risk, and quickly replied gently, "Xiao Yu'er, I'm on the way, I'll be there soon, please wait a little longer." "Well, brother Xiahua, I'm waiting for you at the west gate of the school. Feiqiuai Mansion is very close to Zhangzhou's school." Li Yuan took a taxi and arrived at Ximen in only 10 minutes. After getting out of the car, Li Yuan immediately called Zhang Ziyu. "Xiao Yu'er, I've arrived at Ximen, where are you?" In just a few seconds, Zhang Ziyu answered the phone. "Brother Xiahua, are you finally here? I'm under the sycamore tree next to the west gate. I've already seen you." After hanging up the phone, Li Yuan heard a crisp voice calling him. "Brother Xiahua, I'm here." Li Yuan followed the voice and looked across the crowd and traffic to find the direction of Xiao Yu'er. Today, Zhang Ziyu is not wearing hanfu, but an off-white jacket that looks like an urban goddess, paired with cropped trousers. Li Yuan stepped forward to say hello. "Xiao Yu'er, long time no see. Dear beauties, please give me a monthly ticket. If you buy a monthly ticket of 1,000 yuan, I will add a 10,000-word chapter." Chapter 108 Xiao Yu'er's Gift, A Man's Ultimate Dream. Please subscribe, please vote. It had been more than half a month since Li Yuan last saw Zhang Ziyu, and that was before the military training that had just started at the university. He was revealed offline by Xiao Yu'er. Since that day, in the past half-month, he and Zhang Yuyu chatted almost every day via QQ or on the phone, with Xiao Yu'er taking the initiative more often. Unknowingly, the relationship between the two began to transform from the relationship between the author and the die-hard fan into a mutual ambiguity. Xiao Yuer's love for him is almost unabashed. Every time he talks on the phone or sends a message, it is obvious. Seeing Zhang Ziyu change his clothes in front of him, Li Yuan's eyes lit up. This little fish looked more like a wealthy daughter of a big family. When Zhang Ziyu saw Li Yuan, he immediately swooped over, gently stepped forward and hugged Li Yuan. "Brother Xiahua, I miss you so much." Li Yuan hugged Zhang Ziyu and patted her back gently with both hands, feeling a little nervous. I muttered in my heart, I am definitely not guilty of being a thief. Li Yuan let go of Zhang Ziyu and said with a relaxed smile, "Xiao Yuer, I was very busy some time ago, so I kept you waiting for a long time." Zhang Ziyu's eyes are very bright, like crescent moons, and she has two shallow dimples, which make her look particularly naughty and lively. "Brother Xiahua, come with me. I will take you to see the gift I have prepared for you. If the confession fails, chase her bestie." Author, Ren Shenkui Kan Ru Xiahua. Chapter 115. "Oh, Xiao Yuer, what gift have you prepared for me?" Li Yuan was very curious. This little rich woman told him half a month ago that she wanted to give him a gift that he didn't have. He still didn't have this gift. He had guessed many possibilities. Today, he would finally see the true face of Mount Lu. Zhang Ziyu took the initiative to hold Li Yuan's hand very generously, without any hesitation or covering his eyes. This was on the street in front of their school, and there was a constant flow of people coming and going. It was easy to meet classmates, friends, and other acquaintances. Xiao Yuer pulled Li Yuan and walked about 100 meters forward before stopping. "Brother Xiahua, this is my gift to you." Zhang Ziyu pointed at an object wrapped in a huge box in front of him. Li Yuan has long experienced the information bombardment from later generations. When he looked at this huge box, an idea immediately came to his mind. He was really surprised. Looking at the cute Zhang Ziyu, his body was also trembling slightly. Not sure and asked, "Xiao Yuer, the gift you gave me is a car." Zhang Ziyu took Li Yuan's hand and looked at Li Yuan with a smile. "Brother Xiahua, you are so smart. This car is not available in Shanghai. It was just launched this year. I spent some time and waited for more than half a month before it was shipped back to China." When Li Yuan heard the words current car and domestic, his heart was shocked again. A sudden and huge sense of surprise filled his chest, making his adrenaline continue to rise. If there is any dream that has not been realized before and after rebirth, it may be only one. "Xiao Yuer, don't tell me that what you gave me was a sports car." Li Yuan's voice was trembling. After his rebirth, although he made more than 30 million through sports betting, stocks, and writing, he would definitely not be willing to spend millions more to buy a supercar. When the game is launched in the future and the assets exceed 100 million, I will definitely buy a sports car to experience it. He is just a common person. Since he is a common person, his pursuit is also vulgar. House, car, money, girl. Zhang Ziyu covered his mouth and smiled softly, pulling Li Yuan to the huge carriage and facing several staff members in suits beside the car. "Brother Xiahua, you will know after you open it and take a look." Li Yuan was looking forward to it. He came to the huge cardboard box and opened the hatch with the help of a man in a suit. The rear butt of a supercar was exposed, a symbol he was all too familiar with. Isn't it? This is a Lamborghini." Li Yuan exclaimed. For a while, as a man's dream, no one has ever imagined Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche and other sports cars, and he is no exception, but he is just looking at it, not even thinking about it, even renting it and trying it. Not willing to rent. Especially Lamborghini, any sports car costs several million, making it even rarer than Ferrari and Porsche. Before his rebirth, Porsche had almost become a street car and could be seen in small towns. but Lamborghini is rarely seen. The Lamborghini staff came to Li Yuan, saluted him respectfully, and introduced the car. "Mr. Li, this is the Lamborghini Murcielago LP640, which was just launched this year by Lamborghini. The Chinese name is BAT. This car uses a mid-engine, four-wheel drive, V12 naturally aspirated engine, with a power of 580 horsepower and a 0–100 km per hour speed. The acceleration time is only 3.8 seconds, and the top speed can reach 350 km/h. Li Yuan was stunned when he heard that it was actually a limited edition. He didn't know much about this black Lamborghini sports car, but looking at its cool appearance, he thought it was worth a lot of money, at least several million. While the suit personnel from Lamborghini introduced it to Li Yuan, other personnel were already dismantling the entire box and exposing the entire car body. Li Yuan quickly and excitedly looked around the supercar. The more he looked, the more shocked and delighted he became. The excitement in his heart was indescribable. Balloons and ribbons were raised one after another, and a large bouquet of flowers was placed on the front of the car with a note on it. "A gift to brother Xiahua Xiaoyuer." As soon as the model of the sports car was revealed, it immediately attracted the attention of passers-by, who started taking photos and talking loudly. "What kind of sports car is this? It looks so handsome and has a bit of a sci-fi feel. Is it a Ferrari? It must be worth several million." Ferrari is a horse and Lamborghini is an ox. Is this car logo from Lamborghini? Which model is it specifically? It looks familiar, like this year's new model. Is it also available in our country? Who is this gift to? I saw flowers and balloons. Oh my God, I am so envious. Who can give them to me? I will marry him immediately. I found out that this car is the new BAT launched by Lamborghini in 2006. It was designed by Lamborghini chief designer Luc Tonquoc. It is a milestone in supercars. Damn it, there are people in our country who can get it, but they don't keep it themselves, but give it away. Please tell me how much this Lamborghini sports car is worth so that I can give up. How much it's worth? I'm afraid it must be in the millions. Without a certain relationship, it will be difficult to get it even if you have the money. I suspect that this is the only BAT in the city. Look, there is a man and a woman next to the car. Is this boy giving it to the beautiful woman? I'm really envious, so happy. It doesn't look like it. I see that the boy has been excitedly looking around the car, but the beautiful girl is very calm on the side. Maybe the situation is the other way around. Hurry up and take a photo. This car is so handsome that it can be used as my computer desktop wallpaper. Lamborghini supercar is the ultimate dream of us men. Owning this car will cost me 10 years of my life, and I am willing to do so. Li Yuan looked around, and was shocked by the cool appearance of this car. It was so handsome. Compared with it, Panamera, Maserati, etc. were all weak. Zhang Ziyu came to Li Yuan, looked at Li Yuan with a smile, and asked aloud, "Brother Xiahua, do you like this sports car?" Li Yuan nodded without hesitation. This kind of supercar is a man's dream. It would be abnormal if he didn't like it. No matter which NBA star, entertainment star, or other celebrity or rich second generation, they all like supercars for a reason. They are so handsome. Not to mention that I opened it. Even if I am just looking at it from a close distance, I feel excited and want to give it a try. In a small county town in the previous life, having an ordinary sports car would attract countless eyes, with a 100% return rate. Li Yuan looked around and saw that there were already more than a dozen young men and women surrounding him, taking pictures non-stop. This made Li Yuan feel proud but also felt that something was wrong. If this spread, he would become famous. Li Yuan turned sideways, giving the onlookers a handsome back view. "Brother Xiahua, this sports car is my gift to you. Do you like it?" Zhang Ziyu took the initiative to hold Li Yuan's hand, took out a key from his LV bag, and stuffed it into Li Yuan's hand. "Now, here are the car keys." Li Yuan looked hesitant and did not take the car key immediately. After thinking about it, he still refused. "Xiaoyuer, this gift is too expensive, I can't accept it. When Zhang Ziyu heard Li Yuan's refusal, he immediately took Li Yuan's hand, stared at Li Yuan with her beautiful eyes, and muttered, "Brother Xiahua, if you don't accept it, I will be angry." Li Yuan hesitated to say, "Even if you give me a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, BMW, etc. worth hundreds of thousands, I will accept it without any psychological burden. It's just a car worth hundreds of thousands, and the song I gave to Xiao Yu'er is more than that." But this was a Lamborghini supercar worth millions, and he was a little worried. Although I have long known in my heart that Xiao Yu'er, who can reward golden cuteness at every turn, is escorted and protected by a Rolls-Royce car, and can find out his identity information in just one sentence, must be either rich or expensive, or both rich and expensive. But he still didn't expect that just giving him a gift would actually give him a supercar. Looking at this Lamborghini model, it is generally impossible for rich people to get it. No wonder it took more than half a month to transport it back from abroad. Li Yuan looked at Xiao Yu'er's tearful and pitiful expression. Although he was very moved in his heart and wanted to immediately drive this popular supercar to test the speed, his reason still defeated his desire. He shook his head again and looked seriously. Juvenile fish in the river. Xiao Yu'er, this car is really too expensive. The car you want to give away is BBA, so I'll just accept it. Xiao Yu'er took Li Yuan's hand and suddenly smiled when he saw Li Yuan's serious look. Two shallow dimples appeared on his face, which made Li Yuan stunned. "Brother Xiahua, this car is my heart, and its value is not very high. I feel that the song you gave me is much more precious than this car." Li Yuan shook his head, "It's just a song. Although I think it will be popular, it is far less than the value of this car." Zhang Ziyu hummed softly, "Brother Xiahua, that's because you are a great talent. You can write such good lyrics and compose a general melody. This song is very suitable for people like me who like music and reading. It's much more precious than this car. He, if Brother Xiahua still feels sorry, then write me some more songs in the future. Brother Xiahua, this is the first time I have given a gift to a boy. Please accept it, okay?" Xiao Yu'er kept shaking Li Yuan's arm, her tone full of coquettishness. This scene was also seen by the boys who were watching, and they became even more uproar. "No way, let alone giving gifts to boys for such a beautiful girl, she hasn't given them away yet. Little rich woman, look at me, he doesn't want me to want it, I will definitely obey your orders, even if I give you my life. It's really annoying to compare people to each other. I also want to repay the rich woman's thigh. Rich woman, choose me, I can do whatever you want me to do. What's so good about this boy is that he's a little taller and not as handsome as me. Bai Fume is really blind." The crowd of onlookers grew larger and larger, and in the blink of an eye there were already 40 or 50 passing students and passers-by, watching the excitement. They were getting closer and closer to Li Yuan and Xiao Yu'er, and they could even hear fragments of their conversation. Li Yuan sighed, he really couldn't bear to reject Xiao Yu'er's pitiful and expectant look. It's definitely not because of this Lamborghini bat that attracted him. Is he so attracted to the handsome appearance? Haha, of course it is. What man can say no to a Lamborghini? Li Yuan took the car key from Xiao Yu'er's hand, looked at Xiao Yu'er who was smiling seriously, and promised seriously, "Xiao Yu'er, if you need it in the future, I promise to help you write a few more songs. I won't compare with that first job I gave you." "Really? That's great. Brother Xiahua, you're the best." Xiao Yu'er said happily, stood on tiptoe, and suddenly kissed Li Yuan on the cheek. Some of the boys watching saw this scene, and their hearts were instantly broken. "Damn, my heart is broken," the white and rich beauty took the initiative to offer a kiss. "I have no chance." "Wake up, stop dreaming, what does it have to do with you? Do you still think that the rich woman will like you?" You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Kan Ryu Xiahua. Chapter 116. I really want to know how good this boy is, to be able to make such a beautiful, rich, and beautiful woman take the initiative to send a luxury car and kiss him. He must have a special skill, maybe the special skill is a special skill somewhere. Damn, keep your voice down, if they really hear it, I'm afraid you won't see the sun tomorrow. Li Yuan was shocked by Xiao Yuer's sudden attack. He didn't expect Xiao Yuer to be so bold. This is not like the first time at Daxia University. Now there are more and more people watching. Li Yuan has some social phobia and feels embarrassed to be watched. The most important thing is that he is afraid that it will be posted online by a busybody. If Bai Wuxi, Zhong Tingyu, Xiao's Haijin, and others see it, he will explode on the spot. Xiao Yuer, I'll take the car. Let's go. It's not good to be watched here. Zhang Ziyu pursed her lips and smiled secretly. Brother Xiahua, then you drive this car and take me for a ride. Li Yuan took the car keys and came to the Lamborghini Bat, feeling a little helpless. Sports cars are different from ordinary cars. The operation and door control have their own unique features. Li Yuan studied for a while, spread his hands, and said helplessly, Xiao Yuer, I can't drive. I have never driven a sports car before. Zhang Ziyu looked at the Lamborghini employee, who immediately understood and came over to introduce to Li Yuan. Mr. Li, the control system of the Lamborghini Bat is like this. After listening to the introduction, Li Yuan got into the car and fumbled around, and soon figured it out. He started the car, and the roar was deafening and extremely exciting, which once again caused the exclamations of the surrounding onlookers. It's just that the chassis is too low and the field of vision is not very good, which makes him feel a little awkward. This kind of luxury supercar can only be driven in a big city like Shanghai with very smooth roads. In the small county town of my hometown, I can't even get over the speed bumps. Xiao Yuer got on the co-pilot skillfully, fastened the seat belt, and looked at Li Yuan. Brother Xiahua, let's go for a ride. Li Yuan asked, where to go for a ride? I don't know the roads here. This is the first time he has come to the university where Zhang Ziyu is studying, and he is not familiar with it. Xiao Yuer suggested, why don't we go to our school? Li Yuan shook his head hurriedly. That would be too high profile and must be posted online immediately. Xiao Yuer is the president of the music club and a perfect white, rich, and beautiful woman. She must be a university beauty. He can already imagine how many boys are chasing Xiao Yuer. It's a bit exaggerated to say that it's from Shanghai to France, but it shouldn't be an exaggeration to line up to Suzhou and Hangzhou. Whoever can marry such a super white, rich, and beautiful woman can save 10 lifetimes of struggle. Li Yuan had wild thoughts in his mind. Although it's very sweet to hug the thighs of rich women, his reality does not allow it. Li Yuan suggested, it seems that this place is not far from the riverside, let's go for a walk. Xiao Yuer had no objection, well, okay, brother Xiahua, let's go. As the low engine roar of the Lamborghini Bat sounded, Li Yuan slowly drove the car out of the auxiliary road. When he got on the main road, he just lightly pressed the accelerator, and the speed of the Bat suddenly soared, as if it was ejected and took off, which scared Li Yuan to slow down quickly. It is worthy of being a supercar with a 100-kilometer acceleration of 3.8 seconds. This pushback feeling is too adrenaline-inducing. Li Yuan looked at the ordinary vehicles in front, behind, left and right, all deliberately keeping a distance from him, for fear of scratching and bumping, and some secretly took pictures. He suddenly understood why those second-generation celebrities and rich people like to drive supercars. Just like the ancestors said. In fact, every girl is a good girl, she won't mind what color your Ferrari is. With this kind of sports car, on the university campus, isn't it just a random killing? Li Yuan opened the car window, blew the wind, and looked at Zhang Ziyu with a smile. Xiao Yu'er, I feel that this car is a bit too cool, especially with a super beautiful girl like you sitting next to us. The attention of the vehicles on the roadside has been attracted by us. Xiao Yu'er chuckled playfully, then, brother Xiaohua's co-pilot seat can only be left to me. Li Yuan's heart skipped a beat, and he asked tentatively, Xiao Yu'er, the co-pilot seat is reserved for girlfriends. He wanted to see Zhang Ziyu's reaction and what her attitude was towards him. The two of them were a bit too ambiguous now. Not only did he give her a luxury car, but he also gave her a kiss. Xiao Yuer's offensive was too fierce, and he couldn't resist it. Zhang Ziyu suddenly looked at Li Yuan shyly, his eyes were very serious. Then, brother Xiaohua, can Xiao Yuer be your girlfriend? Hurry up and use your monthly tickets to hit me. Chapter 109. Li Yuan was stunned. I was kissed by Xiao Yuer. Subscribe, monthly ticket. After hearing Xiao Yuer's answer, Li Yuan braked suddenly and almost collided with the car behind him. His heart was pounding. What happened? Could it be that after rebirth, he has a romantic luck aura, everyone loves him, flowers bloom when he sees him, and rich women all pay for him? After Zhang Ziyu said this, she looked at Li Yuan nervously and expectantly, pinching her sleeves, fearing that Li Yuan would firmly refuse. This was a test that she had finally mustered up the courage to test. Li Yuan slowed down the car to the lowest speed and moved to the rightmost auxiliary road. Looking at Xiao Yuer, who was full of expectations, he didn't know how to speak for a while. After a little thought, Li Yuan looked at Zhang Ziyu seriously and answered. Xiao Yuer, I think we should try it out and get to know each other better. I'm afraid I'm not as good as you think. Zhang Ziyu was rejected by Li Yuan, and felt a little disappointed. His expression of disappointment was palpable. He turned his head and looked out the window, with tears in his eyes. Li Yuan was also a little speechless. It wasn't that he didn't like Xiao Yuer. Zhang Ziyu's character was probably the most lively and daring to love and hate among the four girls. She took the initiative to chat with him every morning and evening, sharing stories about the school. Interesting facts. When dealing with a girl with this kind of personality, although she is a bit clingy, she is also very comfortable and does not need to think so much. Speaking of which, he and Xiao Yuer had known each other for a long time. It has been more than 2 months since I started writing Fighting in the Starry Sky and establishing a book club. The relationship between the two has evolved from book fans to net friends, and then to real life offline, to an ambiguous state. They are only one step away from confirming a romantic relationship. However, he was timid and did not dare to provoke the powerful Zhang Ziyu. To be honest, in his current situation, he already has 2 things to do, and Zhong Tingyu, who has an unclear relationship with him, and if he provokes Zhang Ziyu, isn't it the old birthday star who hangs himself because he thinks he has a long life? He was really scared. Li Yuan suddenly heard sobbing and was startled. He quickly stopped the car on the side of the road and patted Zhang Ziyu on the shoulder. Xiao Yuer, don't cry. Zhang Ziyu suddenly turned around, looked at Li Yuan, hugged his head, and put his mouth directly towards him. When their lips touched, Li Yuan was confused. Family, who knows, I was raped by a little rich woman? He was always the only one who raped other girls, but today it was good, he was raped directly by Xiao Yuer, a super fair and rich girl. Li Yuan responded passively, his head confused. He couldn't understand what was so outstanding about him and how could he attract such an outstanding little rich woman. Even though his physical fitness is outstanding, Xiao Yuer has never tried it, so she doesn't know. Xiao Yuer's technique was very jerky, as if he was gnawing while holding him. As a veteran of the martial arts world, Li Yuan subconsciously began to turn his passivity into an initiative, seizing the initiative on the battlefield during this hand-to-hand encounter, taking the initiative to invade and launch a counterattack. After waiting for a while, the jerky little fish was quickly beaten back and forth, defeated. Xiao Yu shyly let go of Li Yuan and looked at him shyly but firmly. Brother Xiahua, this is my first time. Now, can I be your girlfriend? Li Yuan felt heavy-headed. Xiao Yu had already said this, and he didn't know what kind of reasons he could come up with to refuse. Could it be that I told Xiao Yu that I already have 2 girlfriends and there is no place for you in my heart? He was afraid that as soon as Xiao Yu became emotional, he would explode on the spot, disappear into ashes, and disappear from the earth. Li Yuan felt a little uncomfortable being stared at by Xiao Yu's affectionate and bright eyes. After thinking for a moment, he nodded. Xiao Yu, we can watch everywhere. If you feel bad about me, you can leave at any time. I'm just a very ordinary college student, not as outstanding as you think. If you filter out the idol filter, you should catch a lot of the boys around you who are better than me. Li Yuan's words are not self-deprecating, they are factual. His own personality and temper are average, and his emotional intelligence is also very low, otherwise he wouldn't have been so bad in his previous life. With Xiao Yu's status, good looks, and figure, the suitors she can come into contact with are definitely very good. Ordinary boys must be self-aware and would not dare to pursue a girl like Zhang Ziyu. Just like everyone says they want to chase Baifume, but if there is a super Baifume escorted by a Rolls-Royce standing in front of you, you may not even dare to strike up a conversation. Li Yuan dared to fight with Zhang Ziyu, firstly because he was a reborn person and already had tens of millions of wealth. Even if he only bought Bitcoin and invested in stocks, he would be a billionaire in the future. The second is that he really has no wrong thoughts about Xiao Yu. After the experience of being raised as a fish in his previous life, he understands the truth that people must have self-awareness. When Xiao Yu saw Li Yuan's promise, he immediately beamed with joy. Lu Yeme completed the crescent moon, and the 2 shallow dimples were shining with alluring light. She took Li Yuan's hand and said with a smile, "Brother Xiahua, I just like you. I like the stories you write, I like chatting with you, I like the songs you write, I like everything about you. I can't help but miss you every day and want to stay by your side. So, Brother Xiahua, you are really great, I like you so much." Li Yuan listened to Xiao Yu's affectionate confession and touched his nose, feeling a little incredible. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Ken Ru Xiahua. Chapter 117. Am I so good? How come I don't know it myself? I am actually just a thief who took advantage of the huge advantage of being a reborn person. I may accidentally steal your innocent heart. This was the first time that Li Yuan had such an experience. He was liked by such an excellent girl, and this girl was also a super white, rich, and beautiful girl. Xiao Yu, thank you for your love. I am really flattered. If you continue to praise me, my mouth will be curled up to the sky. Xiao Yu smiled sweetly, pursed her lips, and looked at Li Yuan shyly. Brother Xiahua, am I the first one to confess to you? Yes, Li Yuan nodded. Even if it was not the case, he had to say yes. Sure enough, after Zhang Ziyu got the affirmative answer, he smiled more brightly and happier. It's still my vision that I can find Brother Xiahua's excellence early. Li Yuan smiled and felt very happy. Xiao Yu really felt like his little fangirl. After a while, Li Yuan drove a brand new sports car to the riverside. When he parked the car in the parking space, he also attracted countless attention. The Lamborghini Bat is so cool. Xiao took the initiative to hold Li Yuan's hand, walked along the pedestrian bridge in the riverside garden, felt the river breeze, and felt the breath of the magic city. Brother Xiahua, this feeling is very beautiful, holding hands with the person you like, walking on the riverside, and feeling the summer breeze by the river. Li Yuan also smiled leisurely. This leisurely life is really comfortable. No wonder people often say that college years are the best and most carefree years in a person's life. There is no pressure from the college entrance examination, nor the pressure of work and life. You can have a sweet love, hold hands, and accompany youth. Zhang Ziyu held Li Yuan's hand and smiled softly. She especially liked the unique temperament of Li Yuan, a feeling that she couldn't describe. Do you really need a reason to like someone? Maybe you do, or maybe you don't. Xiao Yuer opened her arms, facing the river breeze on the shore, turned to Li Yuan, and said with a smile, "Brother Zaiwa, I want to sing for you." Li Yuan smiled and said, "Okay, Xiao Yuer, your voice quality and singing are outstanding even among so many singers in the entertainment industry. They are very nice and have a healing power." Xiao Yuer covered her mouth and laughed, "Brother Zaiwa, I will take it as a compliment." Li Yuan answered seriously and sincerely, "I am telling the truth. Your singing is really very nice. It is a bit like Angela Chang, but her voice is a bit high, but your voice is very clear. Each has its own merits." Xiao Yuer stared at Li Yuan with big eyes and said in surprise, "Brother Zaiwa, do you like Angela Chang too? She is my favorite singer. Some time ago, she came to my house and taught me to sing. She really sings very well." Li Yuan smiled and nodded. "This is a voice kissed by an angel, a woman chased by God to feed her, and her singing really has the power to penetrate people's hearts." Li Yuan thought about it, and there were only a few female singers he liked, such as the sweetheart leader Wang Xinling, the ever-changing Queen Zhang Xiaohan, and the girl group Shi. The youth of old men born in the 80s and 90s. Xiao Yuer pursed her lips and looked at Li Yuan coquettishly, then, "Brother Xiaohua, can I sing her songs for you?" Li Yuan's eyes lit up. Xiao Yuer singing was really healing. "The last time I heard her sing Jay Chu's Blue and White Porcelain, it was very beautiful, with a unique charm, and it felt like my soul was healed. Hey, Xiao Yuer, can I order a song?" Xiao Yuer smiled and replied, "I can sing all her songs. Brother Xiaohua, please order a song." Li Yuan has heard a lot of Zhang Xiaohan's songs, which run through the entire youth of the post-90s. "Then let's sing Aurora." Xiao Yuer exclaimed, "This is also my favorite song, Brother Xiaohua, we really have a tacit understanding. Aurora is one of Angela Chang's representative works, and it is also a very nice love song." Xiao Yuer opened her mouth slowly, and her clear and melodious voice made passers-by stop and listen, and some secretly took photos and videos. Fortunately, this is not the era of everyone is a self-media, otherwise, Xiao Yuer might have quickly become popular. Mysterious Arctic Circle, the top of Alaska, whose face appears on the horizon of the cape, love is a light, so beautiful, illuminating our courageous future, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, beautiful aurora, love is in the heart, believe it is forever. After singing a song, Xiao Yuer raised her head and looked at Li Yuan expectantly, "Brother Zaiwa, do I sing well?" Seeing her like a little girl, Li Yuan couldn't help but touch her black and beautiful hair, and said with emotion, "Xiao Yuer, if you enter the entertainment industry, you will definitely become a big star." Li Yuan suddenly thought of something and asked curiously, "By the way, Xiao Yuer, do you want to enter the entertainment industry?" Xiao Yuer shook her head, "I don't want to, singing is just my hobby, I like it, and the people I like it, why do I have to enter the entertainment industry?" Li Yuan thought so too. With Zhang Ziyu's family, they must be disgusted with the entertainment industry, a place where filth and dirt are hidden, and will let her take the initiative to stay away. However, if you just want to be a singer, there is nothing wrong with it. There are also second-generation female singers entering the music industry. Li Yuan smiled and said, "Xiao Yuer, I think you can release a few music albums in the future, and they will definitely become very popular." Li Yuan originally just said it casually, but to his surprise, Xiao Yuer actually nodded and said with a smile, "I didn't have much confidence in my music before, but with Brother Zaiwa and the song you wrote for me, I have confidence. After our school's New Year's party is over, I just release a solo album? Li Yuan asked curiously, for an album, is one song too few? I looked at other singers' albums and they all have several songs. Xiao Yuer hugged Li Yuan's arm and said softly, Brother Xiahua, can you write some more songs for your Xiao Yuer? Li Yuan thought for a while and nodded with a smile. He had just accepted the supercar given by Xiao Yuer and the sweet kiss he offered. As Xiao Yuer's boyfriend, there is no problem at all in writing a few more songs for her. In his previous life, he still liked listening to music. In the dead of night, listening to some classic songs can really make people feel relaxed. Another reason is that Douyin was so popular at that time. Every day when I had nothing to do, I could just scroll through Douyin and listen to many good songs. With the blessing of reborn memory, I can remember most of the lyrics and melodies of some classic songs. Even if you can't remember it, it's not difficult for us, an online author, to directly compile a few lyrics. The difficulty lies in composing the music, but once you have a rough melody, it is not a big problem to let Xiao Yuer, a professional, listen to it and make changes. In short, it's done. Li Yuan was about to answer when he suddenly heard a voice reaching his ears. Hello, beautiful lady, may I excuse you for a moment? Li Yuan looked up and saw a middle-aged man wearing avant-garde clothes and a thick braid. Xiao Yuer frowned slightly when she saw the middle-aged man who suddenly appeared to stop her. Out of politeness, she asked calmly, What's the matter with you? The middle-aged man with pigtails took out a business card from his pocket, handed it to Xiao Yuer, and introduced himself confidently. I am a music producer from Thunderstone Entertainment. I just heard that your singing and voice are very good. Your appearance and image are also excellent. They are very in line with the standards of our company's contracted artists. I would like to invite you to join our Thunderstone Entertainment company. Our company is powerful and has trained many well-known artists. Li Yuan listened a little bored, because from the moment this middle-aged man appeared, his eyes were fixed on the little fish, as if he was staring at a delicious piece of fat. This made him, the boyfriend who had just been banned by Xiao Yuer, very disgusted. Just as Li Yuan was about to speak, Xiao Yuer already said, Thank you, I don't want to enter the entertainment industry. After Xiao Yuer refused, the middle-aged man continued to induce, This beauty, join us at Thunderstone Entertainment, we can tailor-make songs and movies for you, and use the company's resources to support you, and he will be very popular, become a big star, and make a lot of money. Li Yuan was even more disgusted when he heard this. Mad, how dirty the entertainment industry is, do you need him to talk about it? Every time you get a resource, you need to pay a corresponding price, and for most of the beautiful female celebrities, it is self-evident what that price is. Some third-rate actors in the entertainment industry are just peripheral actors with higher prices, both men and women. Li Yuan interrupted him bluntly and said coldly, My girlfriend has already rejected her. You didn't hear it, did you? This was the first time that the middle-aged man focused his attention on Li Yuan. When he saw Li Yuan's sneer face and tall and powerful figure, he was startled, but he immediately regained his composure. This handsome guy, you have a good image and temperament, and you can play roles in costume dramas. If you and this beauty join Lei Shi Entertainment, our company can provide you with a lot of resources, you can quickly become millionaires, buy luxury cars, live in luxury houses, come and go with thousands of people, and are supported by thousands of fans. Listening to his endless chatter, Li Yuan really wanted to punch him and tell him to shut up. Haha, do you think we will be short of money? The middle-aged man's voice paused, and he carefully looked at the clothes of Li Yuan and Zhang Ziyu, and then secretly mocked in his heart. I thought she was wearing something like Armani or LV, but it wasn't that surprising. Nike, Adidas, just mass merchandise, not even luxury goods. This girl's bag looks like it's leave, maybe it's goods, eh? The middle-aged man continued to speak confidently, handsome guys, beauties, I think you can really consider our Thunderstone entertainment. As long as you become a star, you can. Li Yuan frowned. Did this middle-aged man really not understand, or did he deliberately not understand? He was babbling. They all say that there is no shortage of money, and there is no shortage of money, and they keep talking about it. After thinking about it, Li Yuan took the Lamborghini car key directly from his pocket, turned it around, and said calmly, "Do you know what kind of car this is? The middle-aged man is worthy of being in the entertainment industry." When he saw the car key exposed by Li Yuan, he was shocked. "Isn't this a Lamborghini? There is no need to think about the origin of a young college student who can drive a Lamborghini. He is not something he can offend at all." He couldn't help but look at Li Yuan deeply, his face a little uneasy. Just when he was about to say a few nice words, he saw Li Yuan pulling Xiao Yu directly and walked past him, ignoring him. Looking at the figures of Li Yuan and Xiao Yu leaving, the middle-aged man sighed secretly. "It's so unlucky. If I had pulled such a beautiful girl who sings well into the company, she would definitely become popular. Unfortunately, she has a rich boyfriend." Chapter 110 by Waxi, do you want to regret it? 10,000 words long chapter, please subscribe. After sending this idiot from Laishi Entertainment away, Li Yuan looked at the Lamborghini car key in his hand and felt very interesting. The other party had been bragging for a long time, but when he saw the car key, he was instantly silent. This is the power of supercars. You can't help but accept it. If you want to be looked up to, either you can be like two Ma, one Wang, and one Lu, a household name in the country, and can make a living by relying on your face. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Kan Ru Xiahua. Chapter 118. Or, there is something that can reflect one's strength, such as the key to a supercar. Or a luxury brand, expensive watch, limited edition bag, etc. You can't carry a real estate certificate with you and throw it in the other person's face. Li Yuan looked at Xiao Yu who pursed his lips and snickered, and joked with a smile, "Thank you to the little rich woman for sending me the Lamborghini, which made me pretend to be cool." Xiao Yu pursed her lips and snickered, and replied playfully, "Brother Xiahua, as long as you like it. I don't like the look in that person's eyes very much either." After pretending to be the second generation of rich people, Li Yuan felt very happy. He understood why the second generation people in the TV series and novels he watched before were often arrogant. It was really cultivated through long-term habits. If there are some people who are approachable, it can only be said that they are well educated. Li Yuan asked curiously, "Xiao Yu, you should often encounter this kind of thing, right?" "Well, we have met several times." Xiao Yu nodded shyly and explained with a smile. "This is also the reason why I don't want to enter the entertainment industry. It's too chaotic. There will be a lot of paparazzi following you 24 hours a day and secretly filming you. There is no privacy at all." Li Yuan smiled. Xiao Yu had a clear understanding. Once you really want to become a star, there is no privacy at all. Whatever you want to do, you have to be secretive, wear a mask, and be fully armed. Then when you release albums in the future, you'd better hide your true identity. Otherwise, I'm afraid your fans will chase and intercept you every day. Li Yuan has heard too much about the influence of fans in the entertainment industry, especially the influence of singers, and has experienced it himself. For example, in his previous life, in order to fulfill the wish of a certain girlfriend, he stole a world tour concert held by Zhou in Shanghai. Not to mention the process of grabbing tickets, the atmosphere at the scene was so intense that even rubbing shoulders with each other was not enough. The description was still fresh in his memory. Xiao Yu's eyes lit up. "Yeah, I think so too. I'm going to hide my true identity and use a stage name. He, brother Xiahua, do you want to form a group with me?" We can debut together like the Phoenix legend. Li Yuan smiled and found it very interesting. That must be possible. Then, you are Ling Hua, I am Zi, you are responsible for singing, and I am responsible for yo yo yo. Come on, it seems not impossible. Xiao Yu held Li Yuan's hand and chuckled, Brother Xia Hua, can you sing to me? Li Yuan quickly shook his head. In front of amateurs like Bai Wuxi and Zhong Tingyu, he still dared to sing a few lines occasionally, but in front of professionals like Xiao Yu, he would be embarrassed to show off his humiliation. If I don't sing, I'm tone deaf and I don't sing very well. It will definitely affect my perfect image in your mind. Xiao Yu's big eyes blinked and his smile became even happier. Brother Xia Hua, just sing to me, okay? I promise I won't dislike you. Li Yuan shook his head resolutely. Are you kidding? This is a park by the river. There are so many passers-by. How can he show off his singing? If he sings really well, not only will he not be able to attract headhunters from entertainment companies, he will also be ignored by passers-by. Post on Weibo and laugh at it? Brother Xia Hua, okay, please. Xiao Yu held Li Yuan's arm and shook it gently. The soft first feeling made Li Yuan's heart flutter. Li Yuan couldn't bear to refuse and didn't want to sing here. In order to repay the gift of the supercar, he thought for a while and replied, Xiao Yu, let's do this. I'll write you a new song and we can sing it together, okay? Xiao Yu asked in surprise, really? Brother Xia Hua, do you want to write a duet song? Zhang Ziyu has no doubts about Li Yuan's talent. The last song she wrote was already very good. Although it hasn't been officially released yet, she believes it will be very popular. This is also one of the reasons why she gave Li Yuan a limited edition supercar worth tens of millions. She is a rich woman herself and doesn't care about money. And a piece of good sounding music is priceless. If you really want to sell it to some singers, you can easily sell it for millions. Especially since this is a song specially written for her, it is even more valuable and cannot be measured by money. Xiao Yu, just wait a minute. I'll think about what kind of song is suitable for both of us. Memories kept flowing in Li Yuan's mind, and after a while, he had already decided which song to use. That song has been popular for a long time, and there are probably not many college students across the country who can sing it. Moreover, this song is also very easy to sing and does not require high vocal quality for both men and women. It mainly focuses on the rhythm, lyrics, and melody. There is a reason why it became such a hit. Hey, inspiration suddenly exploded in my mind, and I have a rough idea. Li Yuan chuckled, looking at Xiao Yu's appearance of pure lust, much more advanced than Igawarayu. Xiao Yu hugged his arm, and in his big bright eyes were the little stars of admiration. Brother Xia Hua, you write the lyrics and I will compose the music for you. We are indeed a match made in heaven. Li Yuan smiled, and the scene of the passionate duet appeared in his mind, and he suddenly felt that it should be very interesting and a little romantic. I secretly looked at my mobile phone that had been put into silent mode. It showed 3 missed calls and unread messages, all from Bai Wuxi. Bai Wuxi was new to human affairs, and when his heart was fragile, he would definitely be particularly dependent on him. If he didn't call him or send him messages, then he would be worried. Fortunately, I was smart. After meeting Xiao Yu, I turned my phone to silent mode, otherwise I would be exposed again. When I have time, I have to find some tricks to be a time management master to avoid the risk of Shura Field. It's really not easy to be a sea king when you have several boats under your feet. Li Yuan was secretly lucky. It was only 10 o'clock in the morning, and it was still early for dinner. It was very pleasant to be here with the river breeze, but it was also a bit of a waste of time. Li Yuan took Xiao Yu's hand and suggested, Xiao Yu, let's go to your school for a walk. Xiao Yu's beautiful eyes lit up, and she immediately nodded and agreed, okay, our school also has many famous scenic spots. Then let's go. In the Fayakui mansion community, Baiwixi dressed neatly and limped to the balcony. Looking at the river view in the distance, he took a few beautiful photos. It's really good to live here. No wonder my mother always said that I must settle down in Shanghai when I grow up. Baiwixi's eyes were very bright at the moment, and she was full of longing for a better life in the future. Thinking of the crazy things that happened with Li Yuan last night, her pretty face flushed slightly. She didn't expect that after drinking, she would do such crazy things, even though she was very conscious. Baiwixi thought of the scene when she woke up in the morning, pursed her lips, and said to herself with a smile. I just gave everything to him, stinky Li Yuan, bad Li Yuan. If you don't treat me well with all your heart in the future, I will bite you off. Suddenly, the phone rang, and Baiwixi hurriedly answered it. After seeing that it was not Li Yuan's call, her expression was slightly disappointed, and she quickly regained her calm. Yuchen, have you arrived? Wang Yuchen's voice came from the other end of the phone. Xiaobai, which building and which room are you in the Fayakui community? The security guard here won't let me in. Baiwixi took a quick look. Will not let me in? No, we came in directly last night. The room number is D8 building 1201. Do you want me to pick you up? Well, come pick me up downstairs. Wang Yuchen just finished speaking, and suddenly thought of something, and asked tentatively, Xiaobai, are you feeling a little uncomfortable? Last night, Li Yuan and Baiwixi were alone in the same room, and they both drank. If nothing happened, Wang Yuchen would have suspected that Li Yuan had some health problems. She didn't expect that her best friend would be so crazy. She reminded herself again and again, but she was still lured back home by Li Yuan. Thinking of herself, after drinking, she was clearly conscious, but she couldn't control her body, and was almost broken through by Suji's last line of defense. Baiwixi drank more than herself, and had a deeper relationship with Li Yuan. Moreover, they were at Li Yuan's house, so the result was predictable. Baiwixi realized something instantly when she heard Wang Yuchen's question. Li Yuan's physical fitness was very strong, and she was still limping when she walked. Yuchen, I'm a little inconvenient, so you come up by yourself. Baiwixi's hesitant tone of answer made Wang Yuchen immediately understand that her best friend had completed the great gift of life with Li Yuan. Xiaobai, you can do it? You told me before that you would wait until the wedding night. The university has just started, and you have completed the last step n years in advance. In the future, you can celebrate Women's Day. Baiwixi answered hesitantly, with a very shy tone, I drank a little too much last night, and I was not very conscious, so he took advantage of me. Wang Yuchen pouted, Humph, I don't think you thought of refusing, you drank so much last night, I couldn't stop you, you looked like you were going to get drunk, which man can resist? Also, Li Yuan and Suji, the two bastards, did it on purpose. They had discussed it in advance and planned everything. Baiwixi blushed. She was smart and heard the hidden meaning of Wang Yuchen's words. She asked in shock, Yuchen, are you and Suji? Wang Yuchen spat and replied angrily, I almost got the upper hand from him. I will never drink again. After drinking, I feel that my body is not my own. Li Yuan and Suji are birds of a feather. I used to think Suji was quite honest. Who knew he was a man who looked honest but was cunning and stuffy inside? There are so many eyes. I'm almost downstairs at your house. Let's talk about it in detail when we get there. The environment of this community is really good, with good greenery and roads, like a high-end community. Baiwixi said with a smile, I haven't seen the community yet. Standing on the balcony of the room, you can see the river view not far away, with a park and a river view. The scenery is really good. After a while, Wang Yuchen came to the house. As soon as he entered the house, he took a look at the decoration and space of the house, and exclaimed, Wow, Xiaobai, This house is well decorated, the living room is so big, more than 100 square meters, right? Yuchen, come in quickly, Baiwixi replied with a smile. I don't know, but it seems to be quite big, with 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, an open kitchen, and a separate cloakroom. Wang Yuchen saw that Baiwixi's walking posture was a little wrong, and laughed teasingly. Xiaobai, I didn't expect you to be so crazy, I thought you would wait for a while. I heard that it would be very painful the first time. Li Yuan is tall and strong, with muscles all over his body. It seems that he tossed you hard last night. Baiwixi's cheeks flushed, and she hesitated and dared not answer. After she was completely sober, she felt ashamed to think about the crazy scenes of last night. Yuchen, sit down for a while. There is nothing here, not even a cup of tea. Doesn't Li Yuan live here? Wang Yuchen asked curiously. The Feiqiu Mansion community is only about 6 or 7 kilometers away from Daxia University. It is not very far. If you ride a bicycle, it will only take 10 to 20 minutes to get there. Baiwixi shook her head. I don't know. I didn't ask him in detail. He left very early in the morning. Yuchen, sit down first and take a rest. Baiwixi pulled Wang Yuchen, and just as she was about to move, her body suddenly hurt, causing her beautiful eyebrows to frown. Wang Yuchen quickly supported Baiwixi, and said with a sly smile, Tisk tisk, Li Yuan is really a beast, he doesn't know how to cherish flowers and jade. Xiaobai, you are such a beautiful girl, if I were a boy, I would definitely hold you in my mouth for fear that you would melt, and hold you in my palm for fear that you would fall. Baiwixi's cheeks became even more shy. Wang Yuchen smiled and suddenly thought of a question. He looked at Baiwixi curiously and asked in a low voice, Xiaobai, did you take safety measures when you did that? Environmental protection measures. Baiwixi was startled, and suddenly her face turned pale, and her expression instantly became very panicked. She was drunk last night and didn't pay attention to these things at all, and was forcibly broken by Li Yuan. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. If the confession fails, chase her bestie. Author, Ren Shenkui Kan Ru Xiahua. Chapter 119. Yuchen, am I pregnant? Wang Yuchen was also stunned and shouted, what? Li Yuan, this bastard, does he treat you like this? He doesn't care about your health at all. Baiwixi was so frightened that she almost cried. She grabbed Wang Yuchen's hand and asked quickly, Yuchen, what should I do now? I just went to college. If I get pregnant, Baiwixi's tears fell. She was really scared. She was only 18 years old now, almost 1 year younger than Li Yuan. If she got pregnant now, she really didn't know what to do. Wang Yuchen said angrily, Xiaobai, call Li Yuan now and tell him to come back immediately. Baiwixi was confused at this moment. He quickly took out his mobile phone and dialed Li Yuan's number. It rang for more than 30 seconds, but no one answered. Yuchen, he didn't answer, maybe he was busy. Wang Yuchen was still very angry because she was already very angry about what Suji did to her last night, and now that something like this happened to Baiwixi, her anger could no longer be suppressed. This bastard, keep fighting. What else can he do now? It's more important than this. Baiwixi called obediently a few more times, but Li Yuan still didn't answer. He defended Li Yuan a few words, maybe Li Yuan is really in trouble. Wang Yuchen slowly calmed down, quickly took out his phone and searched online for what to do in this situation. There are many answers to this kind of question, and it doesn't take long to figure out what to do. Xiaobai, when did your aunt leave? Baiwixi replied shyly, I've been gone for 2 days. We've only been gone for 2 days, so it should be fine. We're still in the safe period. Wang Yuchen breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, it's not during ovulation, otherwise you would have to take regret medicine. Bai Wuxi asked blankly, Yuchen, what is regret medicine? Wang Yuchen pinched Bai Wuxi's cheek. It's a medicine that can prevent pregnancy. It can only be taken within 24 hours. However, regret medicine is very harmful to the body. Don't take it if you can. Li Yuan is such a big bastard. When I see him, I have to teach him a lesson for you. Bai Wuxi felt relieved, and the smile returned to his face. Maybe he doesn't know. I don't know, just do it like that. You don't have any common sense at all. You are a college student, Wang Yuchen muttered, with a speechless expression, and joked, Xiaobai, you still speak for him. You look like you are in love now. The foolishness in the world. Bai Wuxi just lowered her head shyly. After what happened last night, all she could think of was Li Yuan. From the time they met in the first year of high school, they became roommates in the first semester of high school. Every time they were assigned seats according to their grades, the two of them chose to sit together, tutoring homework, loving breakfast, walking on campus, holding hands in the dark, once confession. She hadn't noticed much before. After completing that step and breaking through the most intimate relationship, now she suddenly recalled the past. In the process of getting acquainted, there were indeed many places worth remembering. Wang Yuchen looked at the spacious and tidy living room and asked curiously, did Li Yuan really buy this house? It must have cost a lot of money. Bai Wuxi nodded shyly. Li Yuan said he bought it before the start of school after paying the royalties. He said it was from our home in Shanghai. I don't know exactly how much it cost. He bought a house in Shanghai in advance before going to college. He really had a plan. Let me tell you, Li Yuan took the risk of slipping in the college entrance examination and applied for the university you applied for. How could he give up your first love so easily? It turns out that he is also playing hard to get. I have to say that he is too smart. Wang Yuchen took out his mobile phone, searched, and muttered, I can search the internet and find the approximate price of the community here. After a while, there were results. I found it. Feiqiuofu community is a high-end community in Shanghai. It has an excellent location near the city center. Wow, the price of houses in this community is more than 13,000 per square meter. A large garden house like this is just more expensive. Tisk tisk, this house is a large flat floor house with 4 bedrooms, 2 living rooms, 2 bathrooms, and a kitchen. The area should be about 140 square meters. The total price must be more than 2 million at least. Li Yuan is so amazing. Can he make so much money writing online novels? He can make money in 1 month that many people can't make in a lifetime. Bai Wuxi's eyes were full of happiness. Li Yuan said that she is the mistress of this house. Wang Yuchen walked around the room and said with some envy. Tisk tisk, Xiaobai, you have just fallen in love and even own a house. Although Li Yuan is dishonest, his ability to make money is really impressive. He is really a high-quality potential stock. You can buy a house with 1 or 2 million. Buy it, wait until you two graduate from college and get married where you are. Bai Wuxi's eyes showed longing. Under the indoctrination of her mother, it was indeed her dream to settle in the magic city in the future. She thought it would take a long time, but she didn't expect that it would be completed as soon as she entered college. Although she and Li Yuan are not married yet, she firmly believes that with the relationship between the two of them for 3 years in high school, they will definitely make it to the end. Wang Yuchen suddenly asked curiously, Xiaobai, will you and Li Yuan live together here in the future? Bai Wuxi's eyes turned red with embarrassment and he hesitated to speak, not knowing how to answer. She is already like Li Yuan. If Li Yuan insists on living with her, will she agree or not? Yuchen, I don't know either. Wang Yuchen pinched Bai Wuxi's face and continued to act as a military strategist, giving advice to her bestie, and admonished, "Xiaobai, don't be stupid. Men are all pigs. They won't cherish you after getting you. You must not listen to him in everything." Bai Wuxi was confused and didn't understand it very well. She defended Li Yuan, "I think he treats me very well. He gave me a bank card in the morning. I didn't want it, but he had to give it to me. He also said that he made money for me to spend." As he said that, he took out the bank card from his pocket and showed it to Wang Yuchen. Seeing this scene, Wang Yuchen suddenly felt that he was a little worried. Li Yuan even considered this, which fully reflects how much he loves Xiaobai. The 3-year childhood sweetheart relationship must be more important than anything else. "Xiaobai, Li Yuan is really good to you." Li Yuan didn't know that he almost caused a fatal car accident. At this moment, driving a Lamborghini Bat, he was taking Xiao Yuer back to her school. "Xiao Yuer, can the car drive in? Or should we park it on the side of the road?" Xiao Yuer said with a smile, "Just drive in, I have entered your license plate number into the gate." "Xiao Yuer, you are really good. He, follow this road and you can drive directly to the downstairs of my dormitory." "That's a bit too ostentatious, let's park farther away." "Well, okay, brother Xiaohua, I will listen to you." Li Yuan drove slowly, and got out of the car with Xiao Yuer under the gaze of passing students. Downstairs of the girls' dormitory, Zhang Xiao let go of Li Yuan's hand and said with a smile, "Brother Xiaohua, I will go to the dormitory to get the music score and violin, you wait for me for a while." "Well, go ahead." After Xiao Yuer went upstairs, Li Yuan slowly looked at the environment and layout of this old 985 university. Because it is an old campus, there are many students. Downstairs of the girls' dormitory, there are milk tea shops, fruit shops, small supermarkets, barber shops, printing shops, and other small shops. Business seems to be pretty good. Suddenly, a handsome boy, holding a large bunch of bright red roses, was waiting downstairs of the girls' dormitory. Mr. Qin came to give flowers to Ms. Zhang again. He has been doing this for 10 days, right? He is really determined. If it were me, I would have given up long ago. Sincerity can move mountains. Ms. Zhang is the dream goddess of all the boys in the school. Mr. Qin has been chasing her for a year. He once swore that he would not marry anyone other than Ms. Zhang. I don't understand why Ms. Zhang doesn't like a tall, rich, and handsome girl like Mr. Qin. His standards are too high. That's Ms. Zhang. We are recognized as the perfect goddess by the boys of Jida University. She is also the president of our school's music club. I heard that she sings very well. I just don't know when I can hear her. Don't worry, there will be a chance in a few days. In the 2008 welcome party, the campus belle of Zhang University will have a solo performance. We can feast our eyes and listen to the beautiful voice of the campus belle. The discussions of the onlookers kept reaching Li Yuan's ears. After hearing the words president of the music club, his brows slightly frowned, and his heart skipped a beat. He looked at Qin Xiao holding a rose suspiciously, thinking, it shouldn't be such a coincidence. This boy who looks good in appearance and temperament is Xiao Yuer suitor? Qin Xiao, come on, win the campus belle as soon as possible. A girl passed by, looked at the boy called Qin Xiao, and encouraged him with a smile. Mr. Qin said confidently, don't worry, I'm sincere to Xiao. I firmly believe that as long as I work hard enough and show my sincerity, I will be able to move her sooner or later. Li Yuan frowned even more. Although he had thought that he would definitely encounter this scene, after all, whether it was Xia's Haijin, Bai Wuxi, or Zhong Tingyu, they were all extremely outstanding girls with amazing looks. It was impossible for them to have no suitors. But he didn't expect to encounter the scene so soon, not at Xia University, but at Xiao Yuer's university. While Li Yuan was thinking, Xiao Yuer's figure suddenly appeared at the entrance of the corridor. She was carrying a guitar and a handbag, and walked towards Li Yuan with a smile on her face. Li Yuan was about to meet him, but Mr. Qin, who had been waiting for a long time, had already taken a step ahead of him, holding flowers, and quickly came to Xiao Yu'er, saying affectionately, "Xiao, flowers for you." Xiao Yu'er frowned at Mr. Qin, and without saying a word, she turned away and wanted to leave. Young Master Qin continued to stand in front of him, with a look of deep affection. "Xiao, I am sincere to you, you know, this is the 10th day, I will send you flowers until you accept it." "Wow, young Master Qin is so affectionate, if you send it to me, I will agree in 3 days. Young Master Qin is really mighty and domineering, I will send flowers until you accept it, worthy of being tall, rich, and handsome, this bouquet of flowers must be worth hundreds of dollars. I am very curious, will Zhang Xiahua continue to refuse?" Listening to the discussion, Li Yuan couldn't stand it anymore. His girlfriend was stopped by a licking dog. At this time, he had to stand up no matter what. Taking a few steps forward, Li Yuan came in front of Xiao Yu'er and used his strong body to directly knock the licking dog away. Li Yuan's strength was so great that young Master Qin, who was suddenly attacked, fell to the ground and was lying on the ground. Qin Xiao, who was knocked away, was stunned for a moment. After he reacted, he suddenly became furious and rushed forward. He looked at Li Yuan, clenched his fists, and asked coldly, "Who are you? How dare you hit me? If the confession fails, chase her bestie." Author, Ren Shenkui Kan Ru Xiahua. Chapter 120. Li Yuan snorted disdainfully and stepped forward to hold Xiao Yu'er's hand. "Do you see clearly? Do you still need me to tell you?" Mr. Qin was stunned for a moment, unable to believe the scene in front of him. The goddess of his dreams who he had been chasing for a year was openly held by another boy. His mentality exploded. He roared at Li Yuan, "Who the F***ck are you, and why are you holding Juyu's hand? Let me go of your hand quickly, or I'll make you look good." Seeing Li Yuan being threatened, Xiao Yu'er took the initiative to hold Li Yuan's hand and looked at Mr. Qin with a cold voice, "I told you, I don't like you. Can you please stop pestering me? It's disgusting." After saying that, he took Li Yuan's hand again. "I already have a boyfriend, please don't bother me again in the future." Qin Xiao stared blankly at Li Yuan and Zhang Xiu, his eyes widened. He couldn't believe that he was rejected like this downstairs in the girls' dormitory in full view of everyone. Other students in the surrounding area were also amazed. "Damn it, it's official, Zhang's school beauty already has a boyfriend, young Master Qin should be heartbroken. Is that the school beauty's boyfriend? He is not bad in appearance, but Mr. Qin is not bad either. He is a tall, rich, and handsome man. Mr. Qin, don't cry, stand up and masturbate." "Haha, I'm laughing so hard the girl that Mr. Qin has been chasing and licking for a year actually has a boyfriend. Lick the dog, lick the dog, lick until the end. Nothing is left. If I were Mr. Qin, I would just bang my head against the wall and die." After Xiao Yu'er finished speaking, he took Li Yuan's hand and left directly under the attention of the onlookers. Only Mr. Qin was left standing there in a daze. He was in a daze and couldn't believe that the goddess he had been chasing for a year was taken away like this. So who is he? A clown? Young Master Qin looked at the direction where Li Yuan and Xiao Yu'er were leaving, and became extremely cold. He threw the 99 bouquets of red roses to the ground, turned around and left. Master Qin actually gave up, even the flowers were thrown away. It was a pity to throw away such fresh red roses. You could pick them up as new ones and give them to your girlfriend. The school beauty has a master. I don't believe in love anymore. Thank you for the invitation, my heart is sealed with cement. Who is Jiang's school beauty's boyfriend? Can I find information? Get him out now. I looked familiar to him, and let me think about it. I remembered that when I was at the cycling school just now, I saw the school bell and this boy getting out of a Lamborghini sports car. What, the car is a Lamborghini? The school beauty found a rich second generation? Haha, if you don't look for a rich second generation, how can you look for a poor boy like you and me? The plot of Bai Fume falling in love with a poor boy can only be dreamed of. Because of the confrontation between Li Yuan and Xiao Yu'er suitor, it instantly attracted the attention of JJ University students. The dog-licking Mr. Qin, the school belle Zhang Juyu, the rich second generation driving a Lamborghini, a bloody story instantly came to mind and began to spread on the campus network and Jaida's post bar. However, all this has nothing to do with Li Yuan. He and Xiao Yu'er came to the green lawn of the football field. Xiao Yu'er took out the guitar and music scores, looked at Li Yuan, and said with a smile, "Brother Xiahua, I have prepared the guitar and music scores. I am waiting for the song you wrote." Li Yuan thought for a while, took the paper and pen handed over by Xiao Yu'er, and began to write lyrics on them. Male, it's another quiet night, sitting alone in a rocking chair enjoying the coolness. Female, I heard that you are still doing some original work, but it seems like this is all you do. I put on beautiful makeup tonight. Male, if I look at you again, will I still feel that I was as pure as I wanted to be? Female, no need to apply mature eyeliner, no need to apply even liquid foundation. Together, without any performance, during the vigorous years. Zhang Ziyu watched Li Yuan writing the lyrics seriously. She dragged her chin with her hands and stared at Li Yuan with her beautiful eyes. There was a thick smile on her lips. Her dark and bright eyes did not hide her love at all. Wow, brother Xiahua is really fascinating when he gets serious. I want to secretly film this scene. Xiao Yu'er took out her digital camera and took different photos of Li Yuan, who was concentrating on writing lyrics from different angles. After finishing the photo shoot, Xiao Yu'er felt that something was missing, so she came to Li Yuan again, hugged his arm, and took some photos of the two of them. Showing it to Li Yuan with a smile, "Brother Xiahua, what do you think of my photography skills?" Li Yuan took Xiao Yu'er's camera, flipped through the photos, and said with a smile, "Xiao Yu'er, your photography skills are pretty good." "Hee, that's for sure. I also studied photography." Li Yuan smiled and said, "Hey, you can sing, compose music, and take photos. Xiao Yu'er, if you don't dominate the entertainment industry, you're a bit of an underachiever." Xiao Yu'er pouted and hummed softly, "I don't want to go to the entertainment industry. I just want to sing my favorite songs quietly, read my favorite books, do what I like, and be with the people I like. It's good if we stay together." Li Yuan gave the lyrics he had written to Xiao Yu'er and asked her to evaluate them. "Xiao Yu'er, look at this song. It's very suitable for couples to sing duet." Zhang Ziyu read the lyrics carefully. The dimples on his face became brighter and his eyebrows were full of affection. With a snap, he kissed Li Yuan on the cheek. "Brother Xiahua, this song is so well written. It has a refreshing campus feel. He is indeed the greatest talent in the world in my heart." Li Yuan touched the cheek that Xiao Yu'er had kissed, turned the other half of his face, and said jokingly, "Xiao Yu'er, you can't favor one over the other." Zhang Ziyu blushed, gave Li Yuan a rollicking look, and shyly kissed the other half of his face again. "Brother Xiahua, I didn't expect you to be quite bad." Li Yuan smiled and picked up the lyrics. "Xiao Yu'er, I will sing the general melody of this song to you, and the burden of composing the music will be left to you." Zhang Ziyu quickly took the music score and pen and prepared to mark it. "Okay, brother Xiahua, Xiao Yu'er is ready. Well, then I'll start singing. If I don't sing well, don't laugh at me." Xiao Yu'er covered her mouth and chuckled, "Brother Xiahua, with such nice lyrics, your singing will definitely be very nice. Xiao Yu'er is looking forward to it." Li Yuan smiled, "Then I'll sing." Li Yuan sang this song many times in his previous life. As one of the famous songs of Li's Hu talents, this song Su Yan has been widely circulated and has been popular for an era. It is difficult for him not to remember it. As the familiar rhythm sounded in his heart, Li Yuan slowly hummed. In the girls' dormitory of Jida, several girls were having a heated discussion. Li Qingqing scrolled through Jida's forum and exclaimed, "Big news, Jiao Yu left with a strange boy. It's already going viral in our school." Xie Ping turned her head curiously and took a look at the photo that was posted online. It was taken by a passerby downstairs in the girls' dormitory. It showed Li Yuan, Zhang Ziyu, and young Master Qin. No, when did Ziyu get a boyfriend and hold hands in public? Is this an official announcement? I didn't expect that when Ziyu found a boyfriend, he seemed to be a rich second generation who drives a Lamborghini. Ziyu's family is very rich, so she probably doesn't care whether her boyfriend is rich or not. However, it is reasonable to say that they are well matched. Rich families all marry each other. Hurry up and call Juyu. She has a boyfriend. She doesn't even tell our sisters and asks her boyfriend to treat her. We'll take care of it for her. Junior really wants to take her violin out. There's new news. Someone saw her and that boy at the football field. Ching ching, Swilly, should we go and take a look secretly? Okay, I want to see how handsome that boy is, and he can actually catch up with our little fish. Let's go, hee hee, I'll go with you. Chapter 111, Whenever you make a move, you will conquer. Please subscribe, please vote. On the green lawn illuminated by the sun, Li Yuan was humming the tune of Su Yan softly, while Xiao Yuer was concentrating on composing the music, as if the piano and harp were singing in harmony. On a rainy day, take photos of shopping and laugh at other people's faces. Xiao Yuer, this sentence is the girl's part. I may not be singing it right. Please revise it and then sing it again. I'll see if it feels the way you imagined. Li Yuan made himself have a clip sound and tried to sing the girl's part. Fortunately, the song was very simple and he could still sing the general rhythm and charm. Most of Squirrel's songs have a very gentle rhythm, such as Old Enemy, Luz Hu Moon, Chinfu, etc., which are much easier to sing than Jay Chu's songs. Jay Chu's songs are not of a certain level and cannot be sung at all. Yeah, brother Xiahua, you sing very nicely, hee hee, especially the girl's part. Xiao Yuer looked at Li Yuan with admiration and felt very interesting and sweet when he saw him humming in a clip tone. She liked this kind of life, and she also liked being with Li Yuan. At this moment, Li Yuan was shining like a sun in her heart, occupying her whole heart. Li Yuan glanced at Xiao Yuer, tapped her white and smooth forehead, and pretended to be serious. Xiao Yuer, focus on me, don't keep staring at me. Xiao Yuer pursed her lips and snickered, but, brother Xiahua, you are so handsome and charming when you are serious. The corners of Li Yuan's mouth raised. It was hard for him not to be proud when facing an outstanding little fangirl like Xiao Yuer. Humph, don't praise me, I'm afraid I'll be proud. Come and sing the girl's part again. Yeah, I'll sing. Xiao Yuer's eyes were crooked, and he spoke with a smile. His voice was still so clear and melodious, which was so refreshing to hear. Female, I heard that you are still doing some original work, but it seems like this is all you do. Why not take some time to think about the appearance? I put on beautiful makeup tonight.